A nurse is surprised when a little girl recognizes her from seeing her photo in her father's wallet. The revelation of the child's father's identity leaves the nurse completely astonished. This touching story about the power of destiny triggers a drastic transformation in her life, altering its course in an instant. Anna, a young woman still very much in her youth, after facing a painful breakup with the man she loved, chose to dedicate herself intensely to her studies, seeking to build a career in an area that captivated her. Coming from a wealthy family, despite enjoying a comfortable life and receiving the best from her parents, the young woman chose to embrace an honorable profession. Enrolling in a local college, she decided to take the nursing course, but she was far from imagining the impact that this choice would have on her life over time. During her studies, she crossed paths with a handsome young man who also attended the same institution. This man had truly fallen in love with Anna. At first, she hesitated to reciprocate the feeling, still caught up in memories of her first love. However, the persistence of the young man was such that Anna eventually relented. Over the years, they got married and built a beautiful family with children and a peaceful life. It seemed that Anna had found a harmonious relationship with someone who loved her deeply. One day, while Anna was busy putting some family clothes in the washing machine, a small note fell from her husband's pocket. The words written on the note were suspicious and deeply disturbed her. "Meet me on the second floor stairs. Can't wait to see you." Anna felt a whirlwind of emotions, and with a racing heart, eagerly awaited her husband's return home. When he finally arrived, she couldn't contain her agitation and decided to confront him with the note. Cornered, her husband couldn't deny the truth. When confronted by Anna, he'd admitted that he'd been cheating on her for a few years with a coworker. His words hit Anna like a blow, and she had to deal with the betrayal that had shaken her marriage. Raised by her parents, in an environment of love, Anna had a clear understanding of what a respectful and sincere marriage was. Even in the face of her husband's pleas for forgiveness, she couldn't ignore the depth of the betrayal he had committed. The idea of remaining in a relationship marked by infidelity was simply unacceptable to her. Despite her husband's tears and apologies, Anna made a firm decision to file for divorce. She understood that trust had been irreparably broken and that a healthy marriage couldn't be built on such fragile foundations. Anna was determined to preserve her emotional integrity and move forward with courage, even if it meant facing the pain of separation and starting a new chapter in her life. Amidst the sadness and a sense of disillusionment in her marriage, Anna found herself immersed in memories of the past. She wondered if things could have been different if she had married her first love. A deep nostalgia and regret for not fighting for the boy haunted her, even after so many years had passed. Driven by a profound sense of responsibility to support herself and her children, Anna decided to return to work. Because of her nursing background, she managed to find a job at a local press school. With determination, she embarked on this new career journey, balancing her duties as a mother with the desire to remain independent. Approaching her 5-year mark at that job, while attending to the children at the press school, Anna encountered a little girl who was staring at her intently. Suddenly, the little girl uttered a surprising phrase. "I know you. You're in a picture in my dad's wallet." Anna was momentarily surprised and curious. She decided to question the girl to better understand the situation. "Your dad? What's his name?" Anna asked, intrigued. The girl promptly replied, "His name is Hector." This response left Anna even more confused, as she had never known anyone by that name. She continued to inquire, "How old is he? And what does he do for work?" The girl answered innocently, He's old and works finding people and solving mysteries. Anna felt a shiver run down her spine upon hearing the girl's words. She struggled to understand what was happening and asked, "Finding people like a detective?" The little girl nodded and smiled. "I think that's what my mom says he is." Confusion and nervousness grew in Anna. She couldn't understand why a picture of her would be in the wallet of this man named Hector, who apparently was a private detective. A few weeks passed, and in a different familiar setting, during a family dinner, the same little girl who had mentioned Anna's photo in her father's wallet brought up the subject again. At her home, while everyone shared the meal, the little girl suddenly said, "Daddy, do you know that woman you have a photo of in your wallet? She's the nurse at my school." The father directed his gaze at his daughter with evident interest, inquiring, "Sweetheart, do you remember if her name is Anna?" With a nod, the girl confirmed. However, before she could say anything more, her father interrupted her with a tone of realization. "I finally found her." Her father was indeed a detective, and apparently, he had been searching for Anna for some time. The atmosphere at the table became tense, and a sense of mystery and anticipation hung in the air. The puzzle surrounding the connection between the detective and the nurse was about to be unraveled, revealing a plot that could change everything for Anna. Sometime later, on an ordinary day, as that nurse left lunch, she was shocked to see someone, her first love, Louis. After many years, he was there, in front of the school where she worked. They approached each other slowly, Anna not understanding anything and not knowing how that man had found her. She goes to meet him and asks, "Louis, is it really you?" The man confirms and tells her words unimaginable to Anna's mind. As memories of the past resurface, a remarkable love story begins. Destiny made sure to keep these souls united from the beginning. Anna and Louis met as children, living close to each other and also attending the same school. Their friendship grew and evolved into genuine love, leading them to start a relationship in their teenage years. The years passed, and their connection deepened even further. The bond they shared was remarkable, an intense connection that many sought. However, the story took an unexpected turn when Louis made the decision to move to another city in pursuit of a career as a journalist. Despite the distance, he continued to communicate with Anna through letters, expressing his love and longing. However, the societal pressures of the time began to affect their relationship. Society's expectations demanded that men and women marry and start families early. Feeling overwhelmed by these pressures, Louis made a difficult decision. He ended the relationship through a letter, apologizing to Anna's parents. Although Louis deeply loved Anna, the difference in their social backgrounds haunted him. Coming from humble origins, he feared he couldn't provide Anna with the life she deserved. Driven by this fear and his love for her, he chose the path of separation. Anna, on the other hand, never managed to overcome this departure. Sadness accompanied her for a long time, a pain that seemed endless. The lives that intersected so early, bound by a true and intense love, were suddenly separated by unforeseen twists of fate and the barriers imposed by the society of that time. On the other hand, even as they went their separate ways, Louis couldn't get Anna out of his mind. During that time, Louis pursued the path of an international journalist, embarking on numerous trips as demanded by his work. He became a very cultured person, full of references and vast knowledge on a myriad of subjects. Despite his prestigious job, his family still faced considerable financial challenges. One day, Louis's family informed him that they had chosen a bride for him, which left him somewhat uncomfortable. It was an arranged marriage, a common practice at that time. which would benefit both sides. The young woman in question came from a family with substantial wealth, and various agreements were made to formalize the union. Louis, obeying his parents' wishes, even though he was already an independent young adult, met with the intended bride. Her beauty impressed him, and his interest began to grow. However, Anna continued to haunt his thoughts. The feeling of wanting to seek her out never left him. Returning to his hometown, where he had spent his childhood, Louis managed to get a job transfer that, although meant more time at home, still required frequent trips. Eventually, he and the bride married, forming a family and having children. Over the years, Louis's life was a whirlwind of activities, and the separation from his family to fulfill his professional obligations weighed heavily on his heart, especially due to his unwavering love for his children. Despite his love for his wife and the family he had built, Louis still carried the memory of Anna, keeping this feeling locked away inside him. However, one day he returned home to find his wife crying in the living room, with the children already asleep. She made a devastating revelation. "I can't take it anymore. I feel terribly lonely. I married you to please my parents, but now I want a divorce." Louis pleaded with her to reconsider, but his wife was determined. His marriage had also come to an end. Years after the divorce, the longing and regret for Anna continued to echo. In a sudden impulse, Louis made a decision, deciding it was time to act. He felt an undeniable need to pursue the dream of finding his great love again, something that had motivated him all along. Despite his lonely efforts yielding no results, Louis finally decided to take a more decisive approach, hiring a private detective. The detective faced challenges in locating Anna, as she had changed her last name after marriage. However, by a twist of fate, the detective eventually found a link. His daughter attended the same school where Anna worked. Returning to that emotional afternoon in front of the school, Louis approached Anna, revealing that he had hired the detective to find her. The unlikely encounter brought clarity to Anna, connecting the dots that were once scattered. Time and the adversities they faced were not able to extinguish the bond they shared. The separation that kept them apart for 25 years seemed to have been a necessary chapter in their lives, preparing the ground for their paths to cross again. It seemed that destiny had acted to allow the two to rediscover the road they had traveled together in their youth. Today, Anna and Louis enjoy a marriage that has lasted for 15 years, where the reunion after separation has made them rediscover and rekindle the love that once united them as young lovers.